Rob, you mentioned it, the Lakers. What a game. What a night of basketball. The Knicks game was terrific, Knicks Philadelphia. And then the nightcap.
You sound like Adam Silver.
101-90. It was a great game. I'm just going to keep it real. 101-99. Denver beats the Lakers on a buzzer beater by Jamal Crawford. The 20-foot, man, I don't know, 17 feet, whatever it was, step back in the right corner over the 7-footer Anthony Davis, who actually played good defense on that play. But, Rob, what were your thoughts? I mean, the Lakers led by 20. And I'm just going real quick, because I want to hear your thoughts. Real quick, Rob, there was not a moment in that game, even when the Lakers were up 20, that I felt Denver was out of it. I'm not saying I actually did think they were going to come back and win, but I'm not going to act like I was confident. Oh, they're definitely winning. But I knew they had a chance, and I thought they'd be able to pull it off if they got it closed down the stretch. I never felt, 20 points, it's over. And sure enough, it wasn't, Rob. But what were your thoughts?
I thought LeBron made a huge mistake at the end of the game. Just one you just cannot do.
Because he was fantastic.
Well, you take a shot with too much time left on the clock. And I know the guy fell down in front of him. But, Chris, that last shot has to be with 2 seconds to go. Either you win the game or you go into overtime. You can't give them the ball back in that spot. There was too much time. Like, that's winning basketball. Like, you cannot. If you're LeBron, and I get it, you got an open look, Chris.
Man, is it an open look?
Yeah, but if you miss it, which he did, this is what opened the door. But if you wait until 2 seconds to go, either you make the shot.
Into overtime and lose in overtime?
No, you either make the shot, but you don't give them the ball back to lose. Is what I'm saying. You have two. You take the shot, or you go to the basket, whatever you want to do to try to score, right? Or you're going to overtime and try to win it there. You can't give them the ball back. Is all I'm saying. Once the shot clock was 14 seconds. They can't get the ball. They shouldn't get the ball back.
I hear you, but again, you're going into overtime. So you could have lost in overtime. He had a great look. He just didn't hit it. I mean, you're not going to get a better look than that. And he had been hot. LeBron was great in the fourth quarter. And it's interesting because I thought, and I talked about this yesterday, how was he going to play? I mean, he knew he'd play well, but what was going to be his strategy? In game one, we saw that his strategy was to punch the Nuggets in the face, go all out at the beginning, and see if he could build his team a lead and they could hold on in the end. But he was gassed at the end of the game and had nothing left in the tank in the fourth quarter, and they lost. So last night in game two, he comes out differently. He gets everybody involved early. D'Angelo Russell finally shows up. That was one good sign for the Lakers. Hit 7 threes. They're up 20 in the third quarter, up 10 going into the fourth quarter. And he was great. He had energy left because he didn't have to, exert himself too much in the first few quarters. And so he had everything left in the fourth, hit 2 threes, hit a great 3-point play, got a steal and a dunk. Like, only thing he did was miss and wide open. I mean, you don't get any more open than that. Wide open 3-pointer, top of the key. He missed it. Denver comes down, about 14 seconds left when he took the shot, and they get a last shot. But I disagree with Rob. I understand Rob's logic. Rob is having some technical difficulty, so he is off right now.
No, I'm here.
You are here.
I can hear you.
Okay, so you're not on the Zoom. Okay. I get your logic.
The
bottom line is they got to win it in overtime anyway. So I
talked to a few basketball coaches today, and people they all said you just can't. That you just can't. It's got to be game winner, Chris, where they don't get the ball back. Or you push it to overtime. I'm just saying that was my first thought. I
still got to beat him in overtime, and he's probably gassed.
I get it.
He's 39 years old. I mean it's not a bad take. You know what I mean? Because it's certainly merit to it. But the bottom line is it's just like if you're, in football, if you're down 1 and at the end of the game and you can kick the extra point and tie it and go into overtime, or you can go for 2 and go for the win. A lot of times teams say on the road, we'll go for the win. And because you got to beat them in overtime if you don't beat them in regulation. So all the momentum was with Denver. They had outscored the Lakers by 22 points in the final 22 minutes. So I like I said, if it would have been a rushed, contested shot, fine. But dude was open. He just missed. And Rob, that was one of the big keys, was that Denver was clutch and the Lakers weren't. And the Lakers weren't horrible in the clutch. They made 3 of their last 6 shots. Denver made 7 of its last 7. In the fourth quarter, Denver shot 65%. The Lakers shot 44%.
I just don't know how the Lakers are going to win a game. Anthony Davis played terrific. I know in the second half they went away from him.
Aaron Gordon shut him down.
In the second half, non-existent. But here's the other. D'Lo plays this fantastic game. You still don't win. Is he going to shoot any? Can he shoot any better than that? I mean, there was your opportunity, and that's why I keep saying when you look at that game, Chris, that's a game you just don't want to allow them to beat you the way that they did, and that's all I'm saying. I get it. It was an open look, but it just didn't make sense to potentially give them the ball back. And the last thing you wanted was for them to get the ball back with a tie game and have a chance to beat you, and that's what happened. And now it's, 10 in a row or what?
10 in a row.
10
in a row.
And I don't know if the Lakers, I know going home, people think, they'll go home. They were so close in both games. They were close in the 2 games on the road last year and still went home and lost 2.
Oh, no.
I don't know if they can win a game. That's
the question. And obviously it's got to be game 3. If they lose game 3, then, will they try to go out on their sword and have a little bit of pride? Yeah, of course. But so what? You're human, Rob. You're down 3-0 to a team that's beaten you 11 straight games, if indeed that happens on Thursday. And it's human nature, Rob, to just, it's over. And if you win and you're down 3-1, now you're going to Denver, where you haven't won, or LeBron hasn't won, I don't think, since 2020. They're cooked. It might be a gentleman's sweep, or it might just be a plain old sweep. But the Lakers, either way you cut it, are in trouble. So do you place blame for the loss on LeBron, or you just saying he should not have shot that?
Yeah, that's just a bad way to end the game. I'm not saying that because there's no – he could have done that and Jamal Murray could have missed the shot. Okay, you go to overtime. I'm not saying that. But that just wasn't the way, because LeBron obviously could have missed a shot, and yes, they could have lost in overtime. But you don't want to give the ball back, and that's my only point. I get it. The defender fell down, and it's wide open, and it looks like boom, all I got to do is put up a shot and win the game or whatever. But it backfired on him.
Yeah, and look, it was a great play by Murray, because Anthony Davis's defense was great. You're 7 foot. You stay in front of him. You force him to take a fadeaway jumper. And Murray didn't even see the ball go in the basket. That's how difficult of a shot it was for him. But give him credit, man. He was clutch. 6 points in the first 3 quarters, 14 in the fourth. And that was, like I said, Denver was clutch and the Lakers were not. Or Denver was great.
And what was he, 3 for his missed 13 of his first 16?
He was off. And that's the fear, Rob,
and that's
for
the
Lakers
one that kills
fans.
you if you're the Lakers, that you didn't win that game where he was so off.
He hasn't been on the whole series.
Right.
I mean, he was great in the fourth, and he was clutch in game one as well. That's what he does. But he's shooting below 40% for the series. He's shooting below 30% from three. So that's not going to continue. So that's the thing. You don't Jamal Murray hasn't been hot yet. You know that's coming. And AD was fantastic. 32 points, 11 rebounds. I know he faded in the second half, but I think Aaron Gordon D'd him up well. LeBron was really good all night and great in the fourth. D'Lo hit 7 threes. Rob, they made 5 more three-pointers than the Nuggets. Nuggets shot 23% from three. That's usually a death knell.
And still beat them. And
we're down by 20. And then you couldn't hold it. So, yeah, they can put up a tough face, and they should. But they're human. And this team just has their number. We'll see if they get a game.